titillate the juices. You know what? Woo! Right now. Woo! Woo!
Dr. Hughes invites followers. Oh, let's see if they increase now. Me too. Yeah, wow. Dr. Hughes.
Mock-ass mock.
He's a great podcaster.
Trick-ass mock.
Acknowledge me. We coming for you, nigga. Fat!
Yeah, Dr. Hughes, here we go. Keep plugging yourself, that's cool.
First up, a man whose looks will serve your inner needs and desires.
Dr. Hughes.
Yes, Dr. Huge back again. We went live last night talking about WrestleMania, of course. And we're back with Danny Damage. Look, Danny Damage.
Oh. Good evening. Well, afternoon there. No, morning still. Morning.
Yeah, morning over here. What is it, afternoon over there?
Yeah, it's like 4:15.
Yeah, it's not too bad. Yeah, I'm still like, I'm just not a morning person at all. I was even thinking about, I was like, I'm not even going to do this. So I'm like, you know, I'm up. I might as well. So got my coffee ready. I'm all set to go.
And this time of year, WrestleMania season, yeah, you just stay up, don't you?
Yeah, I watched SmackDown last night, and I generally haven't been watching all 3 hours of it like this. So I'm flipping between that and the basketball games. And the basketball games keep going late because they're out in the West Coast, which is even, you know, earlier. And I was just up until like 1 or 2. And yeah, you know, it's not like I'm 18 anymore. I'm no spring chicken. Just can jump 2 after having a beer or 2, you know.
Yeah. Well, it's if you don't do it too often, it's not too bad, I suppose.
Yeah, it's definitely a wake-up call. Like, oh, right, I get it. I'm not supposed to do this. Right, got it.
Oh, there was some times when I was like 10, 11, 12, and I'd stay up and watch pay-per-views, and I was full of beans. I was full of energy at that age, and I'd still just like wait up for the pay-per-view at 1 a.m. this time, and then I'd wake up at 4:30, and it'd be like finished, pay-per-view over. I'd be like, God damn it! You got that much energy, but still just fall asleep. So
I remember back in the day having so much energy, we would wrestle our friends after these pay-per-views. You know, you're young and you're stupid. You know, you're all full of testosterone. I got low T now. I don't have to worry about all that. I don't want to wrestle anybody after even a woman after a pay-per-view. But back in the day, you'd be right, all the buddies get together. Oh, you know, UFC fights and stuff. All of a sudden, everybody wants to fight. You watch Fast and Furious, everybody thinks they're a fucking stunt driver. You know? I literally remember leaving the Fast and the Furious movie theater, #1, the first one, kids, and everybody was revving their engines, and it was cringe.
Very rough.
Oh, by the way, everybody, don't forget to get liking, subscribing. Nobody even knows we were going live. This was not scheduled, but things must be said. There were already a bunch of notes I've taken from the past week. Going to talk about AEW. Going to talk about SmackDown last night. More about WrestleMania. You got to get Danny's takes. We got all of my takes, all of my picks out of the way. I'll have to tell you again on some of them because it's pretty important things. I think I'm right about all of it. Did you hear about the Mysterio injury? He had an injury last night at SmackDown.
I saw a still image on Twitter about 2 hours ago, yeah. But that's all I know.
Yes, it looked legit. I mean, man, if they set something like this up, that's some psychology right there because they could have, because they want to push Phoenix or Dragon Lee. I'm guessing more Phoenix.
Oh, so you're saying Chad Gable isn't going to dodge this awful angle?
Yeah, no, I think they got to finish it out. He should take the L, whether it's tonight or tomorrow when it's happening. And the match should go on. Just give it to another masked luchador.
Remember when Gable was really, really over and Vince like cut his legs off and did the Shorty G thing and people were like, God damn you, Vince McMahon. But now look, Triple H is there and Chad Gable's going to get to shine as like an Olympic athlete that he is, and he's not going to get wrapped up in some silly little, good times. I'm glad we've got Triple H in charge now.
Well, it wasn't so bad. I mean, Remember when he was fighting Gunther and going for the IC championship? He was in that role. He was the head of the Alpha Academy, which is still kind of a comedy group. So yeah, he's just been relegated to that spot, I believe.
Oh yeah, that when he was with fighting Gunther this time last year, it was brilliant. That should be sort of the thing he was doing, but instead, yeah, that fell over, and they gave it to Sami the Bum Zayn. So, and then he's just been doing this silly stuff ever since, falling out with the Alpha Academy, and now wearing a mask, and just been daft.
One great thing about this, you mentioned him, Sami Zayn. There's been no Sami Zayn.
No hits.
There's been no Kevin Owens now.
No hits.
And there's still no The Man.
No hits.
I love it.
Cool.
No.
That's surely they're going to just fight. Someone else is going to be having a fight during the Damian Priest and Drew match. They'll go backstage and there'll be Sami and Kevin Owens just fighting just in the background, just for the sake of it, over a hot dog or something. Halo. I don't know. Yeah.
And you know what? Sami Zayn will still lose, because I like Kevin Owens better than Sami Zayn, at least. So yeah, there you go, Kevin Owens, get well. It was just randomly. I have nothing set up. I just have random notes all over the place. So
cool.
Let's just watch this real quick. I'm sure everybody's seen this online. AEW fans and Tony Khan, they're smoking the bitch off pack, as they're saying online. And at first I'm like, what are they talking about? And then I looked it up, did my research, and Bischoff has been saying, and I've seen that many times, that the AEW is not going to make it. They beat WCW's length now, which is kind of wild when you think about it. I didn't think WCW that time period was that short of a period, because AEW's been around for 6 years now?
Yeah.
7 years? No, it's second.
They're not it's not the best flex, as they say. You've been around longer than WCW, who at the time was just like hemorrhaging money and effort and talent. Towards the end, it was good for a while. But yeah.
Yep. How about this? Like, power to the people, Tony. Oh wow! I mean,
what?
You haven't seen that, huh?
No. Who thought it was a good idea to get this little girl on stage saluting like that? Just, it's terrible, isn't it? He's bloody embarrassing.
That's his idea. He's the boss. He came out. Yeah. But my whole thing about this is, okay, you're smoking the bitch off pack. You got a longer running show, what have you, brand, and you're gonna celebrate like this. I'm actually for this. AEW Dynamite was good this week. I know it's crazy hearing this from me around here, but listen, I just speak the facts and what I'm seeing, my perspective, and that's what it was. AEW was fucking awesome this week. Every part of it was, I really didn't have a problem with it. And sure, the Mercedes Moné bothers me, and she was going up against Athena, and Athena's got some ROH record or something happening. And of course, Sasha Banks breaks it, because I'm not calling her Mercedes Moné. It's cringe. And the dancing and, enough of all that. I get she's a bad guy, but she's annoying. Same thing with Kenny Omega and a bunch of these people. But this past Wednesday, the crowd was great. Usually East Coast crowds in the U.S. are pretty good. And, I'm for this. I need more of this, Tony.
Good. It should happen more often. I wrote the date down because this, we should remember this. They've got the elements and the recipe. They've got the ingredients for real good stuff with AEW, but this twat just keeps getting in the way every time. There's so many people backstage and just in the ring that just know what they're doing more than this guy, and they just listen to him because he's got the checkbook. Well, Daddy's got the checkbook, but he knows how to sweet talk Daddy for more.
Yeah, his family's not gonna run out of money. Like, AEW is gonna be around. I assumed that it was gonna last longer than WCW. I just assumed it because of the money factor. Yeah. And the way the business was run, it was different. Like, it was just completely different. This is his toy. WCW was an actual product of TNT or Turner stuff and all this. You know, I don't get
And
into.
yeah,
Go ahead.
I was going to say, and it managed to get somewhere organically before it then got hijacked by people that were just self-serving and wanted to be double millionaires. So this from the beginning was just, it was never like grassroots. It was never organically sort of like, oh, look, this has got better over the months and years. It's just big fat checkbook from daddy.
I love it. The chest beating there at the end is the best. So congratulations, Tony. I mean, hey, who knows? Maybe it's just going to take 20 years or something before you start making money, but who cares, right? You can fund it for that long. And yeah. Okay.
I'm honestly surprised he hasn't been found on the floor, covered in baby oil, with smashed office equipment, with a baseball bat in his hand, like Herb Abrams, or something similar, because he's trying to live with the boys and run and do all the partying. And well, actually, no, I stand corrected. That video there just proves me wrong. He's all about the partying, and he can just go for like 7 weeks straight, just one night out, but just lasts that 7 weeks.
Wow. Maybe we'll hear some stories in the future how he's like Mang, you know, biting people's noses off at bars and stuff. Like Tony was out of control, man. You know, he was so like high, allegedly, YouTube TOS, that he just started biting people's noses off like a Saigon whore. Right.
But if people aren't put off by that already, then those people aren't going to be put off by Tony Khan's behavior, and that's it. They'll stick with him. So he'll have the audience.
Yep. Tony, hey, still looking for a job in the business. WWE's totally ignoring me now. They got Pat McAfee doing literally everything. So there's no room for anybody else on the planet. So Tony Khan, over here, I'll be your Pat McAfee, and I will attack them like I was your number one soldier, always been. Yep. I'm lying. But it's all right. He doesn't know that because he's not watching this. Or maybe he is. Every time Dr. Huge Show comes on, this is his reaction right here. Let's get the sound going. Yes, we will go forever, Tony. As long as you guys are doing promotions and WWE's running, I'm going to be talking about it. I'm going to be all in your business. I'm in your life now, wrestling. How about that? If you didn't realize it, all these kids that act like they like wrestling and they're like, fuck Triple H and fuck Tony Khan. And they're like, you've been here, what, like a year? Try 70 years. And I got into it in my 30s. So think about that.
Oh, yeah.
Steiner math. All right, let's talk about some of these matches again. And he takes on Jacob Fat 2 here, going up against LA Knight. Because to me, I'm watching it on SmackDown, and it's just mid-card fluff, in my opinion.
Yeah, this will upset Pete. I've not been keeping up with everything, I'm afraid. I've not been keeping up with Monday night adverts or Friday night commercials. I can't see how Knight gets out of this. I can't see him beating for 2 clean because they just want to push him like the monster that he is. But then they've just given this belt back to LA Knight pretty recently. So there has to be shenanigans, really, unless they're just going to squash LA Knight.
Well, here's a question for you. Is LA Knight going to make it back onto the main card? Will it be after this or will it be ever? Or is he just stuck in the mid now?
I'd like him to be in that main event sort of spot, but they've got too many plans for other people. And this was the argument with Jey Uso winning the Rumble. People are like, oh, don't you like it when something organically happens and the fans want someone? And I remember I listed like 10 different people that had got to that position, but then they never pulled the trigger and gave him that main event run. LA Knight was one of them. Chad Gable was maybe not the main event for Chad Gable, but you know he got to a certain level, and then they just went, right, that's it now, back to the mid card. I think with LA Knight is where they want him to be, unless somebody gets an injury or decides to bugger off and just they don't want to play anymore. He'd be the sort of person you could ask to step up because he knows what he's doing. But yeah, I can't see them pushing him to that upper echelon now.
I'm with you on that. I think
Sadly.
The only way he's like getting into the mid card scene or the main card scene, as I'll call it, main event scene, injuries. people have to go down because there's just way too many wrestlers. Yeah. And Jacob Fatu's got to win this. I mean, he's had the belt now twice. It really is going nowhere for LA Knight. Let him chase for a while, I guess. I don't see him going after the main title after this. I think he's going to be sticking around for a bit, and they're going to be boosting this Jacob Fatu to the main roster first.
And they both deserve it. Yeah, they both deserve it. But Fatu's like the newer to the roster. Not as many people have seen him, so a lot of eyes will be on him because he's in a match with LA Knight. So this should be them just giving him a big push.
And have you heard about this lately? The latest promo between Charlotte and Tiffany a couple weeks ago. Tiffany had brought up that Charlotte is 0 for 3 in divorces. Get it? and that what else? That was pretty much the bomb she dropped on her. Then she threw the mic at her feet and rolled out of the ring like she had the last word. And to me, this was totally necessary. I believe Charlotte brought this on herself because I've sensed that ever since Charlotte has come back, she looks at Tiffy like, oh, you're the new girl. You're going to take my spot. And she's not trying to help these younger girls. So she wants to bury her at every turn. And that was actually I was proven to be right by this because last night on SmackDown, they literally told the story that I told before they even told it. Because I know what's going on. I'm an expert over here, Danny. But you understand what I'm saying? Like, Tiffany believed she was being bullied by Charlotte. Charlotte thought that it was crossing the line, of course, and just very hurtful to her. But then I believe somebody got to her, Triple H maybe, let's just say, and said, listen, now everybody's interested in this match. They're going to see you wrestle in one of the biggest pay-per-views maybe ever. And, this is good for business. And that's what she parroted last night right again.
Yeah. And the thing is, though, now is if Charlotte wins, then that's kind of proving Tiffany Stratton's idea right, that she just has to come back and squash the up-and-coming talent, like, behind-the-scenes sort of style. So it doesn't do anything for Charlotte winning this, whereas Tiffany defending, just like with the previous one, people were tuning in for LA Knight, they'll see Fatu, people will tune in and be like, oh, I know Charlotte Flair, who's this new version of the blonde champion, if they don't know him, and should hopefully help put her over. It's WWE and they love Charlotte, so it wouldn't surprise me if this went, you know what, just Charlotte Flair, just smash her.
Yeah, if they put this strap back on Charlotte, it just screams to me that they're trying to rush along her getting the record from her father.
Yeah.
And also makes me think that John Cena could lose. If Charlotte wins, John Cena's most likely going to lose because the record thing is, I think, such a big deal to WWE. Maybe it doesn't play a huge role in it, but Charlotte, she doesn't need to be chasing after this record. I think they're looking maybe at Ric Flair's age too, but he's also signed to AEW anyway. So, I mean,
and whoring like 2 different products on there too.
Yeah, Tiffany Stratton should win this though. She should. It would help the business overall. Charlotte, I know would hate it, of course, but get used to it. Nobody likes you out here. You can go get the belt somewhere else or beat her at SummerSlam or something like that. No, he left and now he's back. That was quick.
Am I back? Oh.
Yeah. Yep.
Cool. I didn't know what happened then.
Yeah, so...
But yeah, I just said, Tiffany should win, yeah. Charlotte doesn't need it. She doesn't need any more. She doesn't need to beat a dad's record. It's just she's already pretty astroturfed, the way that they just forced her and just gave her so many bloody title reigns just very quickly. And it was just like, you're really trying to make a star in the women's division because you need a women's star to push this new women's division after Stephanie McMahon invented women's wrestling. They tried to do like the second generation thing with Natalya, being Jim Anvil's daughter, but she just didn't have the same sort of like presence as, and that's not me shitting, she just doesn't have the same presentation, sorry. It could be better, but they just really like Charlotte Flair. They put a rocket up her and just, she's closer to beating a dad's record than anyone ever expected.
That will be a crazy time. Hopefully Ric Flair is still around. You know, I'm not
Can I
like
just
the
say, though,
sleaze. Go ahead.
the hardest working in this so far are the filters in that fucking picture. That is just, yeah, you could stand them next to each other and be like, is that the same person? So that's quite a
That
lot
is
of
pretty
Photoshop
good.
there.
Yeah, she looks great there. Yeah,
I think that's why my laptop struggled then, just because it's trying to process that filter.
she's got a new face. Have you seen?
Who
It's
has?
a little different.
Oh, Charlotte. I noticed Tiffany looked a bit different at
I
whichever
think
last
Tiffany's
pay-per-view
just
was that I
using
saw.
crazy makeup,
Right.
and Charlotte's I think changed her face surgically. I don't know.
Bad times.
Just everybody needs to stop it.
Mm.
I made a clip about this recently. Stop. No more tattoos. Okay, these are the rules now. No more tattoos. No more face surgeries. No more BBLs. Definitely no more BBLs. Those things stink. It's gross. Take fat from everywhere and put it on your buttocks. You guys out of your minds, and then you put tattoos on it. Gross.
But you see a lot of lasses that
How many nose rings?
a lot of lasses who have like how many
nose
what'd I say,
rings
sorry?
can you fit in your nose? How many nose rings?
Get 'em either side and then get your bridge done, and yeah. I was going to say the comparison of sort of like when you see the lasses in wrestling that have like their Instagram pictures and they'll show like no makeup photographs, and it's like you actually look nicer there. That's more attractive when you all layer like a trowel's worth of makeup on your face and just get this all the time. It's like you all actually start to look the same, and you don't stand out so much. But then when you don't cake your bloody face in makeup, you can see those little individual sort of like things about you. It's a shame. They just and then lasses get a bit addicted to it, sadly, because then once you start getting one thing done, you've got to keep going back and chasing that dragon.
Just reminds me of Rhea Ripley last night. You know, she's got 4 nose rings now. She's got, all tatted up, and then the Frankenstein boots and all this stuff. And she came out last night. Her whole body's tan, Vampiro, then white makeup all the way to the neck. It's just like, I get the look. She's looking like a gothic chick and stuff like this. I'm saying that's fine for her and her brand. She's making a killing off that. She's a hot chick, and then a hot chick with all that stuff going on is some people like that. But I'm just saying, it's like when regular women are doing this and people in their 30s and 40s and stuff, it's like, you're not Rhea Ripley. Stop looking like Vampiro out here.
Yeah, and I'm sure you've known people too, but I know a lot of people that don't just have a couple of tattoos, but just go over the top, and they use it as a way of covering things up and just hiding because they don't like how they appear. So I'm not saying that is anybody in particular in wrestling, but it's a common thing. And when you see that, I go, that's a shame. If
I don't know why she would be having, but you know what? People are crazy. You know, they see things that we don't sometimes. Yep.
They've got everything
they're
going
wrong.
for them, and they've got all the best. They've got a great job and great money, but they're still like, there's still something missing. I don't know what. I'll get another one. Bang! Now I've got 73 things in my eyes, and I've got a dish in my lip, and
look who's with us, the Sleaze.
Hello.
Hey, good morning.
Good morning.
Oh, you're booming. Let me turn you down a little bit. Testes. Give it a shot over there, Sleaze.
Hey there. Hi. Test to Cole.
All right, that seems better.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Yeah,
Danny, how are you?
Very well, thank you. Yourself?
Good.
Yeah, nobody's in the chat. They're probably all sleeping still.
I was.
I was too pretty recently. I'm like, you know what? I got to do it. It's WrestleMania time. I didn't take all these notes for nothing. So, all right, we haven't talked about this match yet.
There'll be a pre-show on or something that people will be watching.
Exactly. Well, NXT's on at 1, which is in like an hour and a half or so.
So there'll be a pre-show for that. No, right, that sucks. But
nobody will watch that. This is way better. Yep.
If you just want to go all Clockwork Orange with the things in your eyes and just like all for like the next 3 days, then yeah, you sorted. But yeah,
imagine wanting to listen to Rosenberg and Sam Roberts And who's the other guy that I can't stand? Schultz. Yuck.
Schultz. Gross.
Andrew Schultz stinks.
Yeah, they had like a pre-thing for the Hall of Fame last night, and it was at midnight. What the hell? The Hall of Fame didn't start until like fucking 1:30 in the morning.
Yeah, I didn't even bother. I rarely watch right after. I'll probably watch it in like a week or two, but I never watch it live or because it's too late. And then I just watched a 3-hour wrestling show, and then I got WrestleMania all weekend. Fuck out of here. You know what I mean? Like I'm going to sleep.
Yeah,
or I'm gonna try. So did you watch the Hall of Fame at all last night?
I ended up because I wasn't on yesterday because I got sick. So I ended up getting up and not being able to go back to sleep. So yeah, I stayed up. It's pretty good.
Can you give us a rundown like of the exciting things that happened? Because I haven't seen any of it.
Well, the most important is Triple H actually acknowledged Vince, and he said some real nice words about him and things like that. That was shocking. But I mean, it was a Hall of Fame. Michelle McCool went way too long on stuff that you didn't know what the fuck she was talking about. Lex Luger did the whole thing standing up. That was cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was a decent Hall of Fame.
Did DDP give him a diamond cutter after he stood up? I would pop for that.
He should have. Both Stone Cold and Brett came out. That was good. They had a beer at the end.
Yeah, and Punk did their speech, right?
Mm-hmm.
What was? I mean, what kind of speech did he talk? Let me guess. He was like, "I watched this when I was a kid, and it was inspirational, and this and that, and it was the greatest ever, and I love Bret Hart." Blah, blah, blah.
It was a lot of back and forth between them. They kept it short and sweet, which was nice because how much are you going to talk about it?
Mm-hmm.
They didn't really get into the match that much. It was more like the respect they had for each other and things like that. They have an actual cool trophy that they presented. It's like half of their faces like together, and it was decent.
Yeah, I'm sure Bret Hart would have loved that if it happened to have been a Shawn Michaels match. Imagine this trophy got half the face on it. He'd be like,
"Oh, Bill Goldberg."
yeah, right. Oh, that would be amazing.
Yeah,
maybe in the future, Triple H can set it up to cause some drama. All right, so let's talk about some of this Jay versus Gunther here, because the build-up, you've seen how they've been building this thing up. Now it's an even playing field psychologically, supposedly, because, Jay was afraid, not afraid anymore, and he's gonna, make Gunther's family feel really bad because he's gonna do things to him.
Yeah.
Do you think is this his night? Is he actually going to the Yeetmeister going to be the champion? Oh, that's not good. Give me a yeet. Yeet. Close enough.
They have to put the belt on him. If not, it's going to be a huge swerve that I can't think of that's going to happen. But Jay's got to go over. The way it's been built up and the underdog shit and the yeeting and all that, it has to be him.
Yep. And Trips was talking about it in all of his interviews, it seemed like this past week. He's like, listen, all the people can complain online, and these critics like Dr. Huge, analysts like the Sleaze and Danny, who cares what we have to say, even though I'm the Yeetmeister. And he's like, the crowds, they love the yeeting, they love doing this. Yeet! We gotta do this over and over. Yeet! And they make a zillion dollars, and Triple H is like, I'm not changing anything. So yeah, he's winning, and I don't know how they're gonna make that work, because Gunther is a beast. Everybody sees him that way. And get back to chopping, Gunther. He's not chopping people like he was at the beginning. He's kind of being light with them. He's not breaking skin, or there's no blood going on the chest, no welts. Come on, Gunther.
Yeah, 2 years now in a row where they've just used Gunther to put silly comical acts over. And yeah, people buy the merch. Like I said, when we talk about the other people, Chad Gable, he got to a certain point. LA Knight sells loads of merch, but someone's a The Rock's cousin, aren't they? So
go figure.
They get pushed to the front of the line. But yeah, I love Gunther. It's sad for me. It's 2 years in a row that they're just going to put this goof. It's just, that's all I see with Jey Uso is just WWE's version of Goofy. I'm not denying he doesn't sell merch, and
Of
people
course,
don't shout yeet.
jabronis.
But people shouted head for Al Snow, and people got excited for Scotty Too Hotty, and yeah. Sorry, Gunther. I think you're
Were
correct.
you one of
last-
those
They've
people?
Sorry?
Are you like is he your number one wrestler all time? Scotty Too Hotty?
No. Grandmaster Sexy.
Oh, right. The goggles. That's what did it
Yeah.
for you.
That was what it was. But yeah, Jay's
even
got
last
Jay's
night
gonna
at
go
the
over.
Even last night at the Hall of Fame, they interviewed him on the red carpet, and he just looked so out of place. He didn't know what to say. Like he's just.
You're talking about
He's
the Yeetmeister.
Yes, he's an attraction, but he's not like that guy.
Yeah.
You know, so I can't imagine this title reign's going to be very long.
Yeah. And just to, go along with that, the Braun Breaker the other day, oh my God. He did that. They go on stage and then they cut promos and things like that. And McAfee and Cole were literally, they might as well have just walked up to Braun Breaker and started holding his hand. And just because they were setting him up over and over like a volleyball game, just kept setting him up, and he would stand there and just be like, he had no idea what to say. And finally, at the end, they gave him one good serve to him or a set to him, and he spiked it because he started doing Steiner math, breaker math now, and it was all wrong. See, the Steiner math actually made a little bit of sense. It was in. It worked out 3 3/3 and in a 3-way and all this. He's in a fatal 4-way. He's cutting things in halves, and he's not making any sense of any of it. He's like, oh, this guy's out of here, so now that's 50%. And I'm like, it's a fatal 4-way. That would mean it was still 75%. I know math. Some fuck.
I noticed that too, but I loved it. He actually did a good job with that.
It was good.
It was fun.
Yep.
But I mean, him standing up there and having to be like directed and stuff, he's very new, so I give him a pass on that. Jey Uso's been doing this for years.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, if he still stumbled whenever a microphone gets put in his face, like, he's not your top guy.
Well, he's going to be at least on one show for a couple months.
Yeah. Kofi Kingston was too. So, I mean.
Do you see him going past SummerSlam?
No, I don't.
Because that's
Yes, but not convincingly.
that's 4 months.
Yeah, that's
Wow.
4 months of what?
Of this in merchandise sales, and he should come out with some t-shirt cannons and just start pew, pew, shoot cannons while they're yeeting. Then maybe we can get some kind of incident going on where he maybe shoots a t-shirt into a kid's face or something, deforms them, and then they'll have to shut it all down. No more yeeting because the t-shirt cannons are too dangerous. He botches it. Oh, yes.
I mean, he could let Jimmy drive him around town while he's out the roof of the car firing the t-shirts. But,
That's right.
you
That'd
maybe don't
be
want
awesome.
Jimmy. You maybe don't want to leave Jimmy in charge of that. So, bad history.
Yeah.
They drive down the really long WrestleMania stage here, shooting off like a automatic weapon in the back, just multiple shirts, hammering the crowd with yeet shirts. Yeet! Fans are like, oh, you see them, they're all laying down in the crowd. Medics. Everybody's throwing up the X's in the crowd. They got us over here. Yeah. So this stage, are you guys ever like this interested in the stage? These people out here, their ratings in their stages, boy, they really care about these things.
I wish they'd keep it a secret, to be honest. I used to like when the show opened and you saw the stage and you're like, holy shit. Now, today, you're going to be like, yeah, cool. Great.
I mean, it does look nice.
Yeah, it's cool. But I want to see it when the show starts. I don't want to see it now.
Mm-hmm. There's a grainy ass picture of it. All right.
Yeah, and it's only a matter of time before it's covered in like Cricket Wireless pictures and different companies, different adverts for people, until it doesn't look like that.
Yeah.
That looks nice, but it's just like you said, people do get a bit excited, a bit too excited for it.
Yeah.
And since the last time you've been on, Danny, I keep remembering you because it's been true what you've been saying. They have gotten so corporate. There's so much advertising. It's starting to really stick out because there's a lot of it.
It's not subtle. It's not subtle.
Yeah, it's just sucking the life out of it because it's just insanely corporate. And I go, it's like I'm in the Twilight Zone. I go online and then all these kids are like complaining about things as if this isn't like just one massive corporation. They could care less what you're saying. It's wild. But yeah, I mean,
ever since Danny has made a point about it in the past, I've noticed it too, where everything is a fucking commercial.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was gonna say I just refer to Raw as Monday night adverts, and SmackDown is now Friday night commercials. Because that's 3 hours. It's a long time, and these pay-per-views now. WrestleMania's 2 nights. They're getting SummerSlam's going to be 2 nights soon, so it's just the same thing twice. The only one of eventually the big 4 will all be 2 nights.
Yeah,
definitely. And the only one that'll make some crumb of sense will be the Royal Rumble, because they'll be able to put the men's Rumble on one night, the women's on the other night, and you'll have 24 hours between the two, and they won't feel as like, oh God, we've just watched this. What's the point? But it's still only like a day's difference rather than a year, and being like, oh, this is special because it's once a year. But even then, it's going to be too much. Just 2 nights of the same, yeah. But then they just go, oh, but look how many adverts we can get in. Like 48 hours non-stop, and then there's pre-shows and post-shows, and it's too much.
Especially with them being over in Europe, I noticed I can watch a Raw in like 45 minutes. I cut all the fat off and most of these long ass entrances, and it's literally a 45-minute show, and it's going 2.5 hours. That's crazy to me. So SmackDown must be the same. I would give it, since it's a little bit longer, say it's an hour, maybe an hour and 20, because some of the matches seem to be longer and there's more actual wrestling matches. But yeah, we're just watching a ton of commercials here. And then when you look at the ring, I love the way the new rings look with the logo right in the middle and everything. And then it's surrounded by Jimmy Johns and all this other stuff. And it's like, it looks tacky. Again, it looks like a bunch of tattoos.
Yeah.
And it's, when they start with these other ones that are going to be 2 hours, it's like, how many weekends do we get to give up? You have to give up a whole weekend for this shit.
Yeah, Manias should be the only 2-night one. The Rumble, like you said, makes the most sense, because having 2 Rumbles in one night, like watching it this past year, I was barely watching it because I was just like, it was boring. I wanted it to end, and there's no surprises anymore. They don't even bring out a lot of the older guys, like how they would have Shane Helms come out like 7 years ago. Like there's nothing. There's no surprise to any of it. Logan Paul was 30 this year.
Fuck off.
Kick between the legs, kick between the balls, right into the dick. But remember when they had Randy Orton come out at 30, like recently? Like all that stuff sucks. So yeah, 2 nights for Royal Rumble, WrestleMania, I'll allow it. But the rest, no. And let's cut back on everything else. Like you said, these pre-shows too. I used to watch pre-shows back when it was like more normal, when you'd have just like Raw, SmackDown pay-per-views. I'm not watching these.
It's a 3-hour pre-show for each one of these shows this weekend. Technically, they start at 4:00 over here, Danny, and the show doesn't start until 7. That's a 3-hour pre-show of shit they've been saying for weeks. God, what are we doing?
Yep,
I think AEW. I was going to say, I think the first few AEW pay-per-views, before they had a proper pre-show, I think they just looped the match hype packages, which I liked, because it's like, it's just looping for 3 or 4 hours on the pay-per-view provider, so you get to watch like that half hour of a preview, and then it's like, I just come back when the show starts now. I like that. It's simple. It's not too aggressively, corporately disgusting. But now I think they just do the normal pre-shows like everybody else. So
Yeah.
Did you see the AEW billboards at the in Las Vegas there at the airport and certain places? They're putting them piggyback marketing or something, they're saying.
Tony Khan is so childish. Really? You took all your shows away from the weekend, but you're going to throw in advertisements at the fucking airport like a dick? You're like, what a child.
I don't know. I wonder if there's going to be a deal done eventually. I mean, there has to be. There should be.
Triple H is going to buy them. That's what's going to happen.
Tony has the Khans have so much money. Can they really just buy it if they don't want him to? I don't see it, especially after this display. You showed me this, Sleaze. Let's bring up the video again. Where are you? Here he is. Forever, Sleaze. Forever. He's not selling out. Look at him.
On my chest.
That's forever, Sleaze.
Yeah. He probably broke his clavicle doing that too. What a dick. But he's like a 15-year-old. Like, nobody takes him seriously. The guys that work for him can't even take him seriously.
Yeah.
Come on.
So you don't think he smoked the bitch off pack this week like the kids are saying?
No. I think he lost a lot of money this week. His dad's money. And he's delusional on coke.
Allegedly. In a box.
Supposedly. In a
all right, Tony. Calm down. Calm down.
Just a loop of that. A loop of that is so good. I want to put music in it.
Let's fix this. Woo, look at this. This is the match I'm actually looking forward to. The triple threat, Roman, Seth Rollins, and CM Punk. I got him still playing over him. It's totally distracting me. Yeah, but
he's excited for this match too.
Yeah, I just see him in the corner of my eye going, yes. This match is going to be something. You know, they're all fighting over Paul Heyman. Can anybody answer this question? I had a question for the audience last night, but why do they need Paul Heyman other than to get matches for them, to advocate, you know, get things done the business wise, which is already done. They got a match. And he's not really getting involved in two matches. In that like 4-year run that Roman had with the title, Paul Heyman got involved in, I think, one match physically. So what is he needed for?
Yeah, to piss the other guys off. That's the only thing I can see in this. I mean, I guess you could play the fact that he's good backstage. He has a lot of pull, things of that nature. He's a good advisor. But other than that, I mean, what is there? It's just they're trying to steal somebody else's girlfriend. That's what it is.
Yep. The pretty girl, Danny.
Yeah, he's the pretty girl.
And all the boys want him.
Yep.
Yeah. No,
Triple H made a comment that he sat behind him last year at the Hall of Fame and was staring at his sweet ass all night. Yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
Gideon out here. You got something to say about this, Danny?
I'm as confused. Like I said, I haven't watched all of the build-up of the road to WrestleMania. Yeah, I get what you're saying with Heyman. You would normally get someone like that, an advocate, to go and talk to management to be like, "Hey, I know this guy. He's really good. You should give him a chance." But all three of these guys could just walk in and be like, "Yeah, I want a title shot, please. Put me in like a triple threat for the #1 contendership or something." And most management would listen to them. They're all well-established names. Yeah, they could talk strategy with Heyman, but I think it's just, yeah, we should really be doing something bigger with these three guys, but they can't chase for a belt because we've got John Cena chasing for a belt and pre-show Jey Uso chasing for a belt. So they've just put them together just to be like a super main event. Paul Heyman on a pole or Paul Heyman in a cage or however they're going to collect Paul Heyman and take him home.
Right. It's being booked as this is the match for the soul of the company. So that's what Rollins keeps saying. Actually makes sense to me. I don't think they all have like a different, they are at the top of the business, all three of these guys. And it's really what direction do you want to go in as far as, who's going to be. And Seth makes a great argument. He's like, listen, I'm the one that's always here. I'm not a part-timer like these two guys. I mean, CM Punk is technically a part-timer too, in my opinion. But Seth Rollins is the guy. He should win. And should he get Paul Heyman on his side just because he didn't stomp on his head with his cowboy boots? I don't know. That doesn't really make all the sense in the world. But it does when Rollins brought up also that Roman Reigns never came to save your ass when Bloodline 2 was around. He lost and went home and just left you there with your, dick flapping in the wind. And CM Punk, he didn't come out when you're getting brutalized and pushed in the corners until he got involved with you in and around War Games. So, yeah, I would go with Seth Rollins, Paul. It's the best business move. The other two guys, well, Roman already can't stand you. And CM Punk will once you join his arch nemesis. So go, Paul, go.
Or he'll just bring Brock back and just crush them all.
That would be something. But
That'd be a good swerve.
Yeah, I heard that wasn't going to happen though. But
right.
then again,
Seth's an interesting pick because you saw Paul with Roman for a while. You saw Heyman with Punk for a while. Not so much Seth, so that's like fresher ground that they could tread on.
And Seth has been losing to everybody for like years. Like I can't get it out of my mind that he's got beat 3 times in a row by Cody. Then he helps Cody go and get the title. Wow, like totally cucked. So he deserves it. If anybody like deserves winning, it's Seth Rollins.
Totally in the cuck chair.
Mm-hmm. I know. Where is everybody in the chat, Sleaze?
Where is everybody?
I think they're all laying down listening.
It's because that damn main event, that Hall of Fame was on until like 4 a.m. Everyone's still sleeping.
Yeah, and then after you can't miss the Dead Man show after Mania tonight, right?
Oh God.
I wonder if that's going to be televised. Probably not. Just like the roast.
So he was the presenter for obviously his wife. And he's trying to be funny, and it's not funny at all. And I hate seeing him as Mark Calloway now. Holy shit. Cool guy, I guess, and all that stuff personally. But Jesus Christ, I'm tired of this.
Yep. The mystique is totally gone. It lost me with that LFG show. We talked about it last week, Sleaze. Like, it's no tough enough, first of all. And you got The Undertaker in there, and you think he's going to bring all this cachet and whatnot. And then he comes in there, and he's boring as fuck. And you're like, okay, well, now what? Now you're showing us how the sausage is being made. And you're showing us that the legends and ones like The Undertaker are kind of boring dudes. And you can tell they're hamming it up for cameras and stuff because it's a reality show at the end of the day. So... yeah, you guys aren't all Jake the Snakes. You all shouldn't be just going out there doing one-man shows and shit. It doesn't work like this, okay? Why is everybody... how about this? Cody Rhodes is going to have a podcast, Danny. Did you hear about that?
What do we want to talk about?
It's going to be called What Do You Want to Talk About?
Yeah.
Not
original.
Yep. You like that? He's going to be competing with Dr. Huge out here? Is that what you want to do, Cody? Okay. I'm going to do
the American Idiot, Cody Rhodes.
What do we want to talk about?
Mm-hmm.
What is he actually going to talk about?
You know it's going to be. It'll be Stephanie McMahon style fucking fluff. Nothing. It's going to be garbage. Hot garbage.
He'll talk about that one summer he worked a program with Nick Aldis, and he'll act like it was 30 years on the territories, and that's it. It'll just be him sucking his own,
Yeah. It's the shits.
Yeah. It's there's so much kiss ass going on right now over there.
Like, I'm telling you, I'm planning to do a show. Have you guys ever heard of Red Bar? He basically just makes fun of stand-up comedians. He just does a whole show making fun of stand-up comedians and people in the podcast world that are stand-up kind of. And they think of him as like the Freddy Krueger. Because he just messes with everybody. I'm doing that to you, Cody Rhodes. I'm going to watch your show, and I'm going to go through it with a fine-tooth comb, and I'm going to point out everything that is cringe and that sucks. I guarantee you, he will have it's going to be a couch podcast, or it's going to be big fancy leather chair podcast, like one of those. And those are all the shits.
It's the shits.
Terrible shows.
Is he going to wear a suit like every time, like a jackass, or can he just
Probably.
get comfortable? This stuff is good for us because it's more material for us.
Mhm.
So they can keep doing the Stephanie shows and the Codys and Takers, because we could watch this and just go through pages of notes.
Stephanie did a show. I've not watched that. I forgot about that.
She's got a show. Did you look it up?
I saw it advertised on Elimination Chamber. But I didn't catch up with it. No, but I forgot all about it because I've been busy, obviously. But you just reminded me then. How was it?
They should call that show "Famous People Give Stephanie McMahon Presents," because that's pretty much the show.
Right.
It's just fluff. It's all fluff.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I can imagine.
So yeah, we're gonna get more of that. And I see this is what I'm talking about, WWE. You got to get more into the game where, you know, people are out here in the podcast streets like us over here. You know,
Right.
Get us into the podcast WWE realm, and you know, you can put us on the undercard or whatever. But like we're doing a Howard Stern version, basically, of this wrestling biz, and I don't know. I don't see anybody on your roster that can do any of this.
With all the fluff they're putting out, we're the good counterbalance, you know?
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Hello, Sasha Reigns. Sasha Reigns in the house, gearing up for WrestleMania. Everybody's starting to wake up. See, finally.
I was talking to myself on the chat. Oh, there we go.
Mm-hmm. Stand and Deliver starts in an hour. I'll be watching, kind of.
Sort of.
Yep. I don't even know what the matches are. I mean, I think we got Julia and Stephanie Vaquer, which of course is going to be another banger.
Yeah, that'll be good.
Yep. I'm a big Steph Vaquer guy. So anyway, who's winning this, guys?
Is that for the NXT Women's Ass Cheeks Championship?
Yes, the main championship. She gave up the North American.
Now just the ass cheeks.
The Ass Cheeks Championship. Not that that's a lovely set of hammers championship. They do have two different belts.
No, that's another brand, I believe. The BFT Championship.
Yeah.
Oh, that one, yeah.
So are we all taking Rollins here? I'm taking Rollins.
Yeah. It's got to be him.
Yeah.
It's the only way it makes sense.
Yeah, it's unexpected, I suppose, or less expected, and it gives something like an interesting sort of story afterwards. Because, seeing Heyman with him is newer ground.
And he did the pipe bomb last night. Sat Indian style in the middle of the ring, and was right again, pretty much about all of it. So,
yeah, he's been spot on every time he said something. What he said to Paul, what he said last night, been perfect.
The "You're Gonna Be Fired Soon" Battle Royal was last night. The Andre the Giant Battle Royal, technically, that's what they call it. But Carmelo won, and I was telling everybody last night, Melo's one of the biggest names not on WrestleMania this year. They just, he's a rookie. They're trying to find a path for him. He's with The Miz now. The Miz is pumping him up. The Miz actually helped him win last night. He got eliminated for Melo, and Melo ended up going on and beating Rey Fenix. I think they were the last two. Or was it Andrade? It was Andrade. Was the last two in the ring with him. And he won. So shout out to you, Melo, also from this area.
I can't believe they're going to fire him so soon, though. It's amazing. I thought he had a bright future.
He used to be on the main event. He used to be on WrestleMania, sorry. Did that Battle Royal. Just used to make a new star or highlight who's going to get fired soon. But now even with 2 nights of Mania, they can't find space for a little Battle Royal.
Well,
yeah.
So. I mean, the U.S. title and women's U.S. titles off the card. The SmackDown Tag Championships aren't on the card. They wrestled last night. They get too many titles, too many wrestlers.
Yep.
Too many shows, too many days of pay-per-views, all that stuff. Like Danny's been saying, this is all about the more they can do, the more commercials they can have, which means more revenue. And that seems to be the game plan.
Oh, it's like Mania used to be the showcase for the championship matches, and there's so many matches on both nights this year that have nothing to do with the championship. You know, it's more about the spectacle of the match and the drama than actually pitting somebody for, you know, like the U.S. Women's Championship. So I'm just not getting it. If you're going to do this at the, you know, at Backlash or something like that, where you're not featuring a belt, that's fine. But this is WrestleMania. Why aren't they doing that?
Because you need to make way for, you know, El Americano Grande.
Yeah, pointless for WrestleMania. Come on.
And yes, Sasha Reigns, good point. This is a fatal four-way. Julia, Stephanie, Jordan, and Jada Parker. Yes. Man, they keep trying to put this Jada Parker over with like the same promo over and over. Like she's from the streets and she's tough and she doesn't take shit, blah, blah, blah. I get it. You know, she seems like a really nice girl, like in real life, but man, this character is obnoxious. So I don't know. Maybe she'll win this match because it's when it's a fatal four-way, anybody can win. That's how I see it.
Yeah. Fatal four-ways, three-ways, five-ways. Tired.
We got a Sin City street fight too coming up. Drew McIntyre, who had glass in his eye recently. Priest, who looked like this last week when he got his chain snatched. And then Drew McIntyre a month or two ago was crying in his car like about everything because he just keeps getting screwed over by everybody and losing. But yeah, I mean, they keep attacking each other, these two guys, man. And now it's turned into a street fight in Las Vegas, which is Priest's hometown. We know what that means if Vince was in charge, but Vince is no longer in charge of creative. So I expect Priest to go over in this match. McIntyre really doesn't need it. Priest does. And who knows what is going to come of this. What do you guys think?
Definitely going to be Priest. Like you said, Drew doesn't need this. It's just going to make him a better heel after this. So he's got more to be pissed off at. And Drew McIntyre's a fucking kleptomaniac.
Yeah.
Like everybody gets into a feud with. He's going to steal something.
Him and DIY, right? Well, DIY tried to steal titles last night too. Yeah.
Kleptos.
Are you a big Priest guy, Danny?
No, not at all.
Not really.
Priest, he needs it. He needs the win, but does he deserve it? No, not at all. He's WWE's biggest fake tough guy. I don't buy any of it. People call him the bisexual Undertaker, and it's like, yeah, that's kind of funny, but the Undertaker was tough. You believed he was tough, and even like a bisexual version of that, yeah, would be tough. And Priest isn't. I'm not buying it at all. Look at that. Look at that picture. They've done so much to it to try and make him look tough. They put him with the Vikings, so it looked like he had the Vikings as his minions or whatever they're called now. They had him with Judgment Day before that. They tried to give him a push, the rub from Edge, and it's just I'm still not buying it. Drew's he looks like a Scottish nutter, a nutcase. But yeah, Priest, I'm not. They can call him all the different silly things. In the Royal Rumble, they gave him like 6 different monikers. It's just like the biggest, nastiest street fighter in the world, and yeah, they just try too hard with him, and he tries too hard. Sorry, I know you like him, Doc. I know you do. But
No, yeah, I know you're not wrong. I just see him. He's at the very bottom of the main event part of the roster, and this is a time where he could get leapfrogged pretty easily by Braun Breaker or Penta or somebody like that.
R-Truth. Oh
wow, you want to put him way down there. You're not impressed with the size at all.
Shabbanaki, Michael Cole. I'm just sorry. I've got a notepad here. Oh, no, it's not Rumble Notes. Sorry. I wrote down all the silly names they tried to give him to put him over as like menacing, and it's like, I'm not buying it. Behave.
Yeah. Well, what about what Mac Diesel's saying here? That if they give him a manager.
Yeah, but he's still got to get in the ring and start throwing his punches and kicks and not look as phony as he is. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I can see what they're going for with him. I can see what they're going for with him, but I don't know. It's like if you watch Priest, it's like he thinks he's like the next version of Scott Hall or something. But WWE, it's like he's really just Diesel, which wasn't that impressive in the grand scheme of things because he was a big lad, but his matches didn't have as much woomph as some other big guys did.
Yeah,
That's what it is. He needs more behind everything he's doing. It's just not 100% there. You don't believe him that much. He just needs to give that. It's more oomph.
Yeah, it needs more of something, and maybe that could be the it factor, which not everybody has. But then again, look at this. He made this face this past week. And I love this. This is wrestling to me, and that's he's like looking like this after he got slammed and gets his Jesus piece stripped off him. So I think he's trying, and I think this match they're going to go all out in this Sin City Street fight. They both have a chip on their shoulder and something to prove. So hopefully they get the job done and win everybody over because I think he's good enough. But I definitely agree it's been kind of mediocre. The past year or so with Damian Priest.
Mm-hmm. So I found the thing. It was the Elimination Chamber last month. Everybody gets like some nickname. I get that, but when Priest came into the Elimination Chamber, they called him the Punisher. This is the announce team. They called him the Punisher. They referred to him as a martial arts expert, and they also called him the Street King. All in like the space of like 30 seconds to really try and get over how much they want you to think of him, and it's just like it's too forced, lads. I'm sorry.
Yeah, he needs to prove it. He needs to prove all those things. Why are you a street king? And he's shown nothing with martial arts. I mean, like, what are we doing?
He does some kicks, but he does the same kicks like everybody else does, and he doesn't stand out with any of that.
But he's big in doing kicks. I think that's the gimmick. Yeah,
wow.
But he's big and he's doing kicks. Yeah.
Jeez.
How about the Archer of Infamy? Remember that one?
Yeah.
Why is he so infamous though? Like, what?
He was a rock star before he got into wrestling sleeves. That's the story.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Right. He was fat before he got into wrestling.
That's right. Yeah, that was the real story.
He's fat.
Well, not anymore. It wasn't Gunther, right?
He's fat.
Yeah. He never forgets. That's Scott Steiner. Yep. So, Priest, hopefully you win. You need it. If, Drew is going to end up like this, probably. And then we'll move on to this match. The triple threat that nobody's been waiting for. Rhea, Io, and Bianca. Everybody wants Bianca and Rhea, so I am predicting that Io wins this, and then we get a storyline between Bianca and Rhea so we can get that match 1v1 finally and see who's better.
It's the only thing that makes sense if Io Sky wins, because they're gonna have a feud for the rest of the year, Rhea and Bianca. I feel like they're gonna drag that out, which is fine, and neither one of them needs a belt, so it only makes sense for Io Sky to win.
Why else did they put him in it? She wasn't involved to begin with, was she? It was just meant to be the other two, and then she sneakily won the belt, and it's like, now it's a triple threat. So, yeah, I think you're onto something.
And then last night, Bianca got involved with Naomi got involved with Bianca. She run out into the ring when these three girls here were in the ring talking about the big match they're about to have. Naomi comes out complaining to Bianca, aren't you my friend, and blah, 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 and you're taking her side again, that whole bit. And then Jade comes running out. Naomi slides out. They all start fighting. Rhea starts fighting with Bianca. Everybody, Io does jumps on everybody and all this stuff. So Naomi in the Jade business is still in Bianca's world. So that's another reason I was thinking she could win, but that's another reason why she most likely won't, because she's all caught up in that drama. But then again, what if they gave her the belt and now it's between Naomi, Jade, and Bianca for a while, and Rhea and Io start wrestling again, because Rhea technically has never beaten Io. and that's been a storyline too. So I could see how they could go both ways with that. Rhea's definitely not winning. That's the only thing I know. She's not winning.
No, definitely not. I don't want this match. I didn't want it from the beginning. When it was just with Rhea out of the picture, it was an interesting match. But this triple threat thing has been total garbage to me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, not a great build up to it either. I did like the Bianca as a ref a few weeks ago to try to make sense of it.
And it still made no sense. So it was pointless. A lot of pointless shit in this.
Well, they just wanted to get to a triple threat, and that was like the only way they could come up with it.
Yeah, this is one of how many triple threats? There's quite a few 3 or 4 ways already on the card, I think.
That's a WrestleMania for you these days. You need multiple days. You need multiple triple threat fatal 4-ways and battle royales to fit everybody into one show. You know.
Well, that was the point of that was the point of the battle royal, wasn't it? To get 20 or 30 people on the card that weren't already on the card, but instead they've bumped that from WrestleMania, even though there's 2 days, and they're now just cramming more individual matches in just to get those people on the card.
Well, they call it WrestleMania SmackDown, WrestleMania Raw. You know, they're trying to really go, well, it's all this time. Even the gauntlet match with the women's tag teams last week on SmackDown is their way of like trying to showcase everybody in the 2 weeks of WrestleMania.
But when that stuff is not on the main show, it's a bad look, I think. You know, with not doing the women's US title and the women's tag team title, now they push the SmackDown tag team title to next week, not having to do anything with WrestleMania weekend. What are we doing?
Yeah, I felt bad for the Street Profits. They went on Cameron and Mace's podcast there, 2 rappers, older rappers from the US, Danny. Just in case you didn't know. I know you're hip with Cameron and the US. They got a pretty big show. It's you know, for the streets, just like this show. And
the streets.
And Macho Man Cameron Savage was on there, and he was telling them like, "No, you guys are. What are you guys doing? You're wrestling on SmackDown." He's like, "That's not even WrestleMania." And they were kind of clowning him. They'll be like, and they're like, "Yeah, well, you know, but it is SmackDown, and we are the champions and stuff." And it's like, oh, I felt bad for him. I'm like, they're getting messed with on their PR tour.
But the general audience looks at it like this. You know what I mean? Like, where's Chelsea Green? Like, the audience is looking at that. The office isn't looking at it that way. They're going to sell you. Well, you know, she's going to defend the title, you know, fucking 2 weeks after Mania, but it still has to do with Mania. What?
Right. Yeah.
It's not on Mania. Stop trying to be so smart about it.
Yeah. It gets into similar territory with Tony Khan sort of like booking in that respect, I think, because the majority of people that they want to come to watch WrestleMania are only going to be watching the main WrestleMania show. Those new fans aren't necessarily going to watch all the little bits. So when Tony has things like, oh, well, you know, this happened on this show because if you watched 3 weeks ago on the YouTube show, that happened in the backstage area during the commercials. And it's like, who's keeping up with all these extra little details? Just have the one big show where everyone comes, gathers and goes, bloody hell, look at this big spectacle. Let's sit and watch this. And then just get all your best talent on there.
I would do WrestleMania just one day again and just make it one really long day. You know, I start the matches at like 2:00 and we're going until 10:00. So you get it's like going to a festival show or a stadium show for like music or whatever. Then you just prepare yourself for it. And sure, is the stadium or whatever going to be full at 2:00 or 3:00? Probably not. But, you know, around sundown, that's when the stuff starts getting going. You can do all your vignettes between the early matches and everything. Get it. And just make sure if you're going to have championships, have them in there. But I understand splitting up the tag titles because there's 2 tag titles. We don't need all this. And I don't know. There's just a better way to do this, I think. But I understand with them, they're trying to spread this out even more like the NFL, go international, 2 days, 3 days. Who knows? Eventually, we'll have a WrestleMania week in 10 years. That's how stupid everything is getting.
Yeah. No, I think you're right. It'll be Monday Night Raw, WrestleMania week. NXT, WrestleMania week, and it'll just go from that Saturday all the way through. And
Yep.
yeah.
It's no longer like, oh, fly in on Thursday, get here on Thursday. People are getting in on Tuesdays now and going to all the indie shows and everything else. And the WWE is probably like, that's a bunch of money that is not coming to us. Because you got to remember, they're corporate. They're only thinking about money, 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 money. So good
always
luck.
leave them wanting more. It's just one of the greatest pieces of advice for like writers and anything. And if you've got 20 hours of WrestleMania in the space of like 48 hours, what do you really have that? Are you really going to crave to come back on the Monday night to be like, oh, I wonder what's left? It's like, no, I'm exhausted. We've just watched watched 20 hours in the space of 2 nights. It's too much. But when it was 3 or 4 hours, as soon as that little logo popped up at the bottom, you'd be like, no, I need some more. Same with Raw and SmackDown. When that logo came up, it was like, oh no, what is happening next? I must find out. Whereas now it's like, nah, there's going to be some filler crap on YouTube shortly and on Twitter. And then they're going to have like some reality guff just to fill my time. And it's like, you don't get people salivating for it as much anymore, which is how you get new fans. More, in my opinion, better fans, because they see the diehards going, oh, this is great, and just going, and salivating for the next little bit. And it's like, what's that guy getting excited for? And they're like, the wrestling. So they go, cool, I'll stand next to you and see if I get that excited. If they see you and you're like on the floor going, tired, I'm bored, I've just had so much. And it's like, oh, well, I'm meant to be a fan of it. So why am I going to, subject myself to that? If you found it tormenting.
Prime example of all that is SmackDown, because if you watch the entire thing, by the time you're done, you're like, thank God. Like, I can go to bed now, or I can do something.
And we can't forget about this. I don't even think I talked about this last night because it's not technically a match. It's Sasha Reigns was just bringing it up about wherever it is. I don't know. I'll find it later. But Randy Orton is having an open challenge. So we know Nick Aldis is out here. He should still be mad, but it could also be Rusev. He's supposed to be returning. It's not going to be Aleister Black. We saw that he's going to be coming sometime, the 25th or something of some month.
All right.
And what do you guys think? You think anybody else special is going to come out to face Randy Orton, getting some headlocks for maybe 30 minutes?
It might be Chris Benoit. What the fuck is this?
He's just letting us know.
Oh God!
Thanks, that tickled me.
Yes, we get it.
Yeah, that would be a good way to bring Rusev back, I suppose. A lot of people will be watching Orton who, the mainstream fans that are familiar with Orton, and then gives them a chance to learn about Rusev if they don't know already. Again, it's a shame it's not a surprise. If it is him and people are speculating, yeah, they should have just said nothing, have Orton come out, and then announce that he's going to do an open challenge, and then surprise.
You want to call Chris for us? Make sure everything's all right.
Yeah. Is everything all right with Chris?
Thank you.
Jesus.
See, this is why they couldn't televise the roast from that little twink guy, Hinchcliffe. That's his name, Twink Hinchcliffe. That's what I call him. And yeah, it's because there should be a lot of stuff like that. You would think. I think.
Yeah.
I hope.
Well, he's got a prediction, Chris, for Randy Orton.
That's right, Matt Riddle. He could come back, kick off those whatever slides he wears,
flip flops, and have the birds come out of his ass or whatever. I forgot about Riddle.
Yeah, I'm sure Baron Corbin wants to be. He'll take on anybody right now in the WWE. He feels like somebody got him fired. Maybe it was Randy Orton.
Maybe it was Chris Benoit.
Maybe it could be. He didn't put the dogs out.
Yeah. Thanks, Corbin.
Yeah.
Yeah, we killed his family.
Well, allegedly.
Supposedly.
Right. We can never say anything factually here. We'll lose all our platforms, please.
Right.
Yep. Did you hear? Not only have I pretty much been kicked off of doing lives on TikTok, they won't let me I can't. I'm too dangerous with my words. And now they just suspended Reezy. And all he did was go live at WrestleCon, and TikTok suspended him. What?
What a shitty platform. You just got to go on there and act like an idiot and not say anything important.
It's the shits.
He was just going into WrestleCon. What's the big deal? Is that really copywritten? And you know his streams, he's mostly looking at himself.
Yeah, yeah.
And he tries to behave himself like a lot more than some. Some people just like intentionally just want to antagonize or make jokes that maybe are a bit mean. And no, yeah, Reezy he behaves himself from what I've seen. So that surprised me. Out of all four of us, I wouldn't have thought, yeah.
Yep, so
Bastards.
TikTok nabbed two of us. I am live on Rumble right now. Yep, the land of white nationalists and Dr. Huge. They're forcing me on all these platforms.
You know who I think is going to show up for Randy Orton? Dean Ambrose.
Yes.
It's such good shit.
Mm-hmm. You know what'd be even better than Dean Ambrose? Cope.
Oh.
And they can do a replay of the greatest wrestling match ever.
Ever.
Remember that, folks?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
That'll blow the roof off the joint.
Maybe it's Christian, maybe.
Oh, a little bit of the bubbly.
Mm-hmm. Could be.
I'd turn the fucking TV off.
Triple H was awful last night. So infuriated, he deleted his wife. What?
What?
Again? Jesus.
How many wives have you deleted?
Stop getting married. But was Triple H boring last night, Sleaze?
No, it was good. It was he cried a lot, which I was surprised. He like uncontrollably cried. It was long, but it was very interesting. And everybody, he really made a point to point out a lot of people, and a lot of people that you didn't really expect him to, I guess, as much as he did. So like China, Vince, a lot of stuff for the Road Dogg. Sean, obviously, the Click. But I enjoyed it.
Did you mention AEW or Jericho or anybody like that?
No. None of those guys.
No mention of the Godwins or Druk the Dumpster Drosy.
No.
Didn't get slopped or a garbage can put on his head or anything like that. I remember in the good old days.
Yeah. Showed a lot of terrorizing stuff. That was good.
Yeah, he keeps popping that joke every now and again.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I won't be surprised if he
mom
ended up in
hair.
a pig pen.
He looked like he was a part of like Motley Crue or something back then. That 80s mom hair.
Farrah Fawcett.
Yeah, it was feathered. He had feathered hair.
Feathered, like heavily. There's a lot of styling going on.
All right. Everybody wants to talk about this. This is the big one. This is ending all of WrestleMania, I believe. Second night. Yes, it is. The first night, I think, what's ending it? Rollins and them?
Yes.
Yes. Look at us, analysts, journalists.
Professionals.
Oh, yeah. There's a lot to talk about here. Where's my notes? It's somewhere around here. Hey, The Rock's going to be coming back, right?
Can I just ask something quickly before we get into this?
Yes.
So did you just say the triple threat match is the men's triple threat, is the main event for the first night?
Yes.
So now CM Punk is technically going to main event WrestleMania.
Yes.
Yes.
Is he counting that?
Yes.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay.
There's two main events.
Yeah, it's not the main event of WrestleMania though, is it? it's just the main event of the first night.
Right.
Okay. Well, if he's happy with that after all the noise he made for years and years, then he's happy with that. But yeah,
He
I didn't realize
about it and everything.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that was the main event. I thought they were going to go for Gunther and pre-show Jey Uso as the main event.
Let me say it
Oh, shut up, Hogan.
Yeah, I mean that would make sense. It's the world championship, but why would they do that?
Okay, fair enough. No, I've not been watching all the build up to it, so I was just trying to clarify that.
Yeah, it didn't make sense to me either. You would think the championship would be at least in one of the main events, but again, it's entertainment, right? See, no,
Right,
Punk isn't
right.
the main event, but then he is of night one. Uno. Watch
Chris
us be
Benoit
totally
knows.
wrong. Huh?
Chris Benoit knows because he evented something.
Whatever goes on tonight ain't the main event, he says.
It's just a warm up.
Mm-hmm. Just warming him up for Cena and for a lot of this.
What do we want to talk about?
Man, I hope he loses, especially after last night. I'm thinking to myself, I thought John Cena was going to get over him at the end of the segment, but then when he didn't, I was kind of like relieved, like, oh, they're leaving a door open so Cena can get back and maybe get this title and everything. And he roasted him again last night. The one critique I will have for Cena and all these promos he's been doing, because he's really been carrying this thing, is he's just getting in Cody Rhodes' face way too much. We get it. But getting in his face every 2 seconds and then backing off and then back in his face, and it stinks. It's annoying.
He's always done that, and it's always annoyed me. Like, if somebody started doing that so much, they're going to get punched.
Yeah.
Like,
yep. I was thinking, but just headbutt him.
Yeah.
Just wham.
I do like that Cena just poked him in the eye. Like, that was a good touch.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember what happened last night. What he said. He was saying a lot. This John Cena goes, blah, blah, blah. He just goes on and on and on. But the hell was he saying? He was just tearing him down again because he's not an authentic champion, a person, really. He's going to go off and do this podcast now. That kind of leads me to think that he's going to lose and drop the strap to Cena. Cena's going to get the record. And like I said, maybe The Rock does get back involved and he can get there'll be friction between him and Cena. And then we can keep this thing going for maybe the rest of the year. But is there a third person to this group that with the finger deal, or is that
Travis Scott?
Yeah, he would be the third person, right?
Yeah.
I mean, The Rock, Cena, Travis Scott. That's 3. Am I wrong?
Yeah. No, there's got to be somebody else besides.
No, maybe. It can't be Randy Orton. He's got his little open challenge going on over here. And then who else was thought to be? What if it's Rusev? I mean, could still be Rusev, even though he's probably taking on Orton.
Well, do you see that The Rock has some kind of new clothing line or something new he's doing? And it features Drew McIntyre in the commercials.
Ah, yes.
That'd be decent.
But Drew McIntyre's busy with he's going to be in a street fight.
With the martial arts expert.
Yeah.
That's what Drew's doing.
He won't be able to do anything after those devastating blows from Damian Priest.
After tussling with the Punisher, Damian Priest, he'll be licking his wounds.
Yeah. The architect. Yeah. What was he? The Archer of Doom?
Archer of Infinity.
Yeah. Right.
Archer Doom. Yeah, he had a lot of nicknames. And then he was a part the worst is being a part of the Terror Twins. Yuck. That was awful.
It's the shits.
Terror Twins. Him and Vampiro.
Him and Marilyn Manson.
Yeah.
Him and Goth Sable. Not Marrow in this instance.
So who do you guys think is going to win this? Are we all on Cena here? He's going to take this thing down?
Definitely. It has to happen.
I was split, but if I didn't know Cody had a podcast, and that does seem like something he can do after this for a little bit. So yeah, probably Cena.
Yeah, Cody, man. He did have some good comebacks for himself last night too. But it's no John Cena. John Cena gets it. He's just killing it on the mic. He destroys this guy every week. And I'm still, even when Cody comes out by himself with all the titles a week or so ago, it's not memorable. Nobody really seems to care. Yep, super forced. Tell us some more about this, John. I got some new John samples.
You have to be authentic because they can see through phony.
That's right. And that's the biggest thing. These wrestling fans, they may be dumb, many of them, but they can see through phony if you're trying to act like a wrestler, or if the business is just taking somebody out of obscurity, say like a Roman Reigns at one point, and just goes, here, he's the new guy. Nobody likes that. We want things to happen organically. The people act normally, like how they would in real life, just amped up, as they always say. But man, Cody Rhodes, the sucking of air and the prepared speeches and the suits and the words he uses and says, which are just, you can tell it's not real. It's just not real at all.
What's funny about John?
Sorry, go on.
What's funny about John Cena is when he's in the ring, he's John Cena, like real John Cena. If he goes on like a podcast or anything like that, that's the fake Cena. Like he flips that around, where when he's in the ring, he'll tell you like, you suck, you're this, you're fake. Like Cody just isn't coming across as what and we said it though. I think he's a boring person just in real life. I don't think something like that can come out. Where Stone Cold is Stone Cold. You know what I mean? Like that's just him just amped up. Same with The Rock. Same with any Triple H. All the good ones. It's just them cranked up. And it's just Cody Rhodes is just he's a vanilla guy. And I don't think that's ever going to come out.
In AEW, he admitted he workshopped a lot of his sort of like his promos and stuff, and he had writers and he wrote them down, and just Whereas Cena, because he was on top for so long, when he was on top, it was every night, and he was having to. It'd be like a band or a comedian where you've got like a set, and if you've got a different audience, you can really use quite a bit of it. But if someone in the crowd said something different, Cena would have to react differently, and he got that improv sort of like style so much more. And yeah, Cody's just overly prepared and overly sanitized, and even compared to Cena, who was just like Sleaze just said, he was a certain way when he's in the ring, and he's a certain way when he's out of the ring. I think when he's in the ring, he's himself, and then when he's out doing whatever, he's trying to bark, he's trying to tout, he's trying to get people to go and watch WWE. Whereas when he's in the ring, you're already watching it, so he can do something a bit different. But yeah, served a purpose, and people his time winning the belt was organic. Wanted him. They'd like to see him back from AEW. There was a lot of interest there. I'll definitely give it that. But I joke about, he's not the big superstar he thinks he is, and he did that summer with Aldis for the NWA or just on the Indies or whatever it was, and he acts like he was his dad now, or he acts like he's done 30 years in the territories, and it is very forced. And that's true coming from Cena, who was very forced down everyone's bloody throats for quite a while.
Yeah, but Cena adapted, like you said. Like he can sit there and flip the switch. If something happens, he can pivot and do all that stuff. Cody can't do that. He's very, like you said, he's scripted. He goes out there. You can see it on his face. You can hear it in his voice. It's just very unauthentic, like to the 10th power.
And the crowd was booing him last night.
Were they?
About time.
I'm surprised it didn't happen sooner. Once he beat Roman, I was like, the hourglass has been turned now. They're going to start booing him soon. But yeah, he's just he tries. He's too forced. He's too predetermined. It was an awful word in wrestling, but yeah, if you go back and watch when in AEW when Cody was still with MJF, Cody was still trying to do his thing on one of the entrances, and he wasn't paying attention to any of the surroundings. And it's when he brought his dog out into the arena with him. So the pyro's going off, and his dog's getting shit scared because there's just big explosions. And Cody didn't look around and notice that and be like, "Oh, I need to like comfort my dog." So instead, MJF, who was the heel, the sneaky heel with a dagger getting ready to stab him in the back, you could actually see concern in his face because the dog was uncomfortable. But Cody didn't pick up on that because he doesn't have that sort of like awareness. Whereas MJF, who, like I say, was the heel at the time, who was like pretending to be Cody's friend, managed to sort of like do the nice, decent human thing. And it's like, oh, look, see, now I know you're not a complete arsehole because you care for the dog's well-being. Whereas Cody's just like, yeah, I've got the cameras on me. And my wife's following me, gobbing off like she does.
And the kids online last night were saying they noticed the booing, of course, we all did. And they're like, well, it's because he's boring.
Well, we figured it out, huh?
Yeah, that's the worst thing you could say, especially from, like, you could tell some of these kids are like, teenagers and what have you. And they're like boring. If you're boring to a teenager, like that's bad. Like that's really bad. It's one thing to be boring to us, but if you can't get over with the kids at all, and you're the main champ and all this, and you got the song and the like I said, the fist pumps and the double pumps with the fireworks and all this, and you're still not getting over ignoring.
The edgy neck tattoo, don't forget about that.
Yeah. Like he's trying very, very hard to get over with everybody. And he even unblocked everybody. He unblocked Dr. Huge. That was a couple years ago, though, because he's been prepped for this. It's like you said, he's gone into like workshops, not just for promos. I don't believe. I think for like everything business wise, and that's why he's just coming across like a salesman. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's boring, and if you start boring the kids, you're gonna lose the money.
Yep.
That's his bread and butter right there. So.
See, Chris says the people that hate on Cody, they're just nerds. You know,
dorks.
Yep. So get your dogs ready, Chris.
Yeah.
Thank you.
What happened to those dogs after all that happened?
I don't know. I think MJF adopted them.
It's a dog lover.
Yep, we're Marks. You got it. That's right. Thank you, Chris. Go fuck yourself.
Yeah, go fuck yourself.
Yeah, it's just yeah. Oh, I'm supposed to like Cody Rhodes. Why? Because they told me to, and he comes out with that big, Jim Carrey, the mask smile, and does the double pumps, and you sing along to the song and all that. It stinks.
But he's got, which he'll probably bring out, he's got that really cool skull helmet that's way oversized, like a cartoon. That's cool.
Yes, it's all cool. Yeah. Too rehearsed, too perfect. I'm not buying it. The kids can buy it. You can have it. Have fun with that. But yeah, not me. I don't think this whole group. I think we're all on board. Cena should win this, and if they don't, I'm gonna riot. I'm gonna be so mad. So mad. There you go. Whoa! Oh, let's get big picture. Whoa!
Oh. Whoa!
Mm-hmm.
That was the most emotion I've seen since he came back. Yeah.
How about that?
He didn't like that.
Yeah. Some JF for you.
Stop touching my face.
I think this was right after he saved his dog.
Yeah. Because he knows.
And then Dave Meltzer came out.
Licked his balls.
Aim.
Yes. Oh, the Cody crybabies. They're after us, guys. Not again. Not like again. Last year. Yep, that will be me if they come after me again. So yeah, I mean that's pretty much we've talked about anything that's really relevant. We skipped a few things, but who cares? I'm gonna get ready to watch this NXT, make some sandwiches, get ready to mark out for the night.
Because you are a mark.
We're all marks.
Hey Chris, go eat a dick.
Thank you for watching, Chris. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Right. And in the meantime, go to the store, of course. That's where you can support the show. Just grab some merch and stuff. We're here usually every Saturday, 3 p.m. to about 5 p.m. And I got songs, I got music, I got all kinds of stuff. I have warnings. Be on the lookout for this.
Very important.
Don't take everything so serious here, everybody. All right? Don't get so angry with us. Just doing a little show here. And we need your support because we've been restricted on YouTube since day one was ish. Yep. So we need to keep pointing that out to people so they know. Hit the buttons, hit the like, hit the subscribe. Thank you for coming on, Danny. Haven't seen you in a while. Yeah, I'll keep sending out the links, and whenever you can join us, just jump on. Sleaze, thank you for joining.
Thanks for having me.
And we did it all. We said it all.
Everything.
Yep. We killed it, everybody. Until next time, have fun with your WrestleMania, everybody. And we will talk to you early next week. See you later.
Titillate the juices. You know what? Woo! Right now. Woo! 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 Woo!
Dr. Hughes invites followers. Oh, let's see if they increase now. Me too. Yeah, wow. Dr. Hughes.
Mock-ass mock.
He's a great podcaster.
Trick-ass mock. Acknowledge me. We coming for you, nigga. Fat!
Yeah, Dr. Hughes, here we go. Keep plugging yourself, that's cool.
First up, a man whose looks will serve your inner needs and desires.
Dr. Hughes.
This guy is fucked.